Welcome to the Activated Story Theater's 185th podcast.
This episode, we bring you Common Sense, an Anansi story from Jamaica.
Hi, I'm Dennis.
And I'm Kimberly.
And together we are the Activated Actors.
We are coming to you from Jonesboro, Arkansas, where we've been putting on a bunch of shows at the libraries for the summer reading program. Libraries rock. We hope you're involved with your summer reading program and learning about all the ways the libraries rock. They are so much more than books these days.
Yes, they absolutely are. They have a lot of things going on.
Oh, they do. I mean, in addition to the activities that they have for kids, they've got toys you can play with at the library.
I want to play with toys.
Oh, you can play with all kinds of things. They got maker spaces. You can do 3D printing. You can learn how to sew. There's some libraries that check out garden seeds, so you can plant seeds, and you can check out fishing poles, and make sure you check out your library and see what they've got going on, because libraries are an amazing place to be and to hang out these days.
And let's not forget, though, they do still have those things that you read.
Oh, yes, and they also have computers.
They do, absolutely.
Yeah, we've been to a library recently that'll even loan out iPads, so you can take the technology home with you.
But we do want to encourage everyone to check out those good old-fashioned books.
Books are the best.
There's
yes.
nothing like them.
A great trip for your imagination. So anyway, that's my little plug for libraries.
And we have seen a lot of libraries lately because since we last talked to you, we started out by doing 17 libraries in Los Angeles County.
3 shows a day. Woo! We did 17 shows in 6 days.
Yes.
So that was a lot of fun. Hello to all of our Los Angeles audience members.
We started off the summer with a bang, and then we zoomed across the country to Arkansas for our next round of shows, which is where we are now.
Yes, and we've got some shows coming up that we will tell you about. What else have we been up to in Arkansas?
Well, we floated down a river.
Yeah, we did. We went on a canoe trip down the Buffalo River. Nice, lazy. It was a very low river this time. It wasn't very deep.
But the Buffalo River is a very nice river. It's a national park, and we always, when we go through that area, which is northern Arkansas, we always like to take a trip down the river if we have time.
If we have time, yes we do. So it takes about 3-4 hours. You get a ride up to a point where they drop you in a canoe or a kayak off, and then it's a nice, relaxing, gentle float down the Buffalo River.
And it was very hot, but the big payoff is at the end. You get out and you just splash in the water for a while.
You can get out anywhere you want.
Well, you can. You can actually get out anytime. And the river is not deep, especially this time. It was only 2 or 3 feet.
Yeah. So, and we are still dancing across the nation. You can catch our short clip videos on Instagram or on YouTube. You can see the entire month that we've been dancing. We've been doing every day. We had
since the beginning of the year.
Across the nation. Yes, since the beginning of the year.
We do 8 counts a day. I choreograph the first 4, and she the second 4, and we do them in some interesting locations.
We even recently got recognized by NBC. They have a show called World of Dance, which is wonderful and features phenomenal dancers. But they recently recognized our dance across the nation, so we're happy about that, and we're happy to share it with you as well. Just do a search for hashtag Dance Across the Nation, and you'll find us.
And don't forget to watch the outtakes.
Oh, yeah, the outtakes we put up on YouTube, and the hashtag you need to search for on Instagram or YouTube. So that's what we've been up to, and like I said, we do have some shows coming up that you can come see. Some are in Arkansas, some are in North Carolina, Massachusetts, and we'll tell you about those after the story.
All right, shall we go to Jamaica?
Let's do it. Right. Common Sense, an Anansi story from Jamaica.
Now, you may have heard of a certain spider named Anansi. Sometimes he was a spider, and sometimes he was a man. And sometimes he was both. But he was always very clever. They told a lot of stories about him in Africa, but they also say that he found his way to the New World. Maybe he stowed away on a ship. Anyway, this is a story they told about Anansi in Jamaica.
Wow! It's so good that I finally made it to Jamaica, Mom. But I don't want to be just any spider in Jamaica. I want to become the most powerful spider on the whole island. And how shall I do that? Oh, maybe if I had more common sense than anybody else, I could become the ruler.
So he got himself a calabash.
What?
A calabash, sort of a gourd.
Oh, I knew that. So, here's a calabash. And now I can, what am I going to do with this calabash exactly?
So then he could gather all the common sense on the island and stash it in the calabash.
Right, of course, Mon. I guess if I already had any common sense, I'd know that, huh?
I guess so.
Yeah, so, let's see. Where can I find myself some common sense? I wonder. Hey, I've heard there's a lot of knowledge and wisdom in books. Surely there's a bit of common sense, too. Boy, I wish I already had enough common sense to know where I can find some books.
So he went to a library.
A library! Of course!
And he crept in when it was closed, and he walked down the aisles, picking up books off the shelves and dumping the common sense from them into his calabash like salt from a shaker.
Well, I think I got all the common sense from these books, but there's still a lot of room in my calabash. Wonder where else I can find some common sense.
So he went to a square in the village where a group of old men gathered at night to talk.
Oh, great idea! These old men have lived a long time. I guess that's why they're so old. So surely, in living so long, they've collected a great deal of common sense. And if I listen to them talking, I should be able to collect that common sense for myself.
So he concealed himself in the darkness and listened to their conversation. And the old men did indeed utter many sayings of common sense, which Anansi quickly grabbed and stuffed into his calabash. A stitch in time saves 9.
Oh, that's common sense! And I got it! A penny saved is a penny earned. Huh, that makes sense too! And I've got it!
If at first you don't succeed, try removing the cap from the lens.
Well, got it.
And they continued in this fashion, or as one might say, they continued in this wise, until the wee hours, and then... Hey, fellas, don't look now, but the sky is beginning to get light.
You know, the same thing happened yesterday morning about this time.
I know. It's like some sort of pattern or something. I wonder what it means. I feel like I should know, but I just can't remember. It's like I've suddenly lost a lot of common sense or something. Yeah.
Oh boy, I really got a lot of common sense now, but there's still some room left in my calabash. So I should try to get it full. My common sense tells me you can never have too much common sense, as long as you have a big enough calabash. But where shall I find more?
So he wondered who might have more common sense.
Yes, I do wonder. Who?
I mean, he really wondered who might have some common sense.
Stop repeating yourself. You sound like an owl or something. Hey, that's it. The owl must have a lot of common sense because he's always asking questions. That's a very common sense thing to do.
So that night, Anansi crept out to the middle of the forest and hid under the tree where the owl was roosting.
A common sense question. I'll put it in my calabash. Who can say how many grains of sand there are on the beach? That's a rhetorical question, but it has a lot of common sense, I think. I'll put it in too.
And thus he stayed under the tree all night long, gathering up the common sense that fell.
Fortunately, that's all that fell. tree all night spying on me. Oops. Guess that's my cue to exit. That creature who was under my tree has 8 legs. Might be an octopus. That sounds right, I think. I don't know. I seem to be missing some common sense. I believe I've collected all the common sense in the whole world because my calabash is completely full. Now, what shall I do with it all? Maybe I'll take it up to the top of a tall tree and hide it among the leaves so nobody else will ever find it.
So he tied a cord around the calabash and began shinnying up the tree with the calabash hanging in front of him awkwardly. Down on the ground, a little girl spotted him.
Hey, Mr. Spider, why are you carrying that calabash in front of you? It would be a lot easier if you carried it behind you. It wouldn't get in your way. Oh, of course. Thank you, little girl. I appreciate that. Wait a minute. Her suggestion made a lot of sense. That means, she must have some common sense herself. She must have stolen it from my calabash. Stop, thief! I'll teach you to steal sense from me.
And with that, he angrily hurled the calabash at the girl.
Hi-ya! Eek!
But she saw it coming and easily moved out of the way.
Yeah.
And the calabash stash crashed and smashed.
Oh no! My calabash broke into 1,000 pieces, and common sense is scattered into a million directions.
And so it did. The common sense went everywhere. So now it can be found anywhere, if you're willing to look a little bit. Anansi even managed to keep a little of it for himself, enough to know a few things that are important.
I guess it's not such a good idea to throw something you want to keep.
And that's the story of Common Sense from Jamaica.
Hey, I love Anansi stories. We've got several others. If you haven't had a chance to go back and listen to some of the archives in our podcast repertoire, there are other Anansi stories. Anansi goes fishing, Anansi in the story box.
Yes. And I think we did Anansi in the Slippery Rock.
Yes.
And this one is kind of similar actually to Anansi in the Story Box, which we also did on stage. But in that one, it's stories that he collects and they're scattered everywhere rather than common sense.
There's a common thread there.
Yes, a common sense thread.
Yes. So, like I said, we do have some shows coming up. We have got a show
at the Woodruff County Library in Augusta, Arkansas.
And that will be on June 27th. That's this Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. So come on by if you're in town or near town.
And on Friday the 29th at the Austin J. White Cultural Center in Eudora at 2 p.m.
And then we are off to North Carolina where we'll be doing 2 shows on July 9th at the High Point Library. And there's an 11 o'clock show and a 6:30 show. You are invited to both of those.
And on Thursday, July 19th, at the Burgaw Library and the Hampstead Library.
Yes, the Hampstead Library is at 11 a.m. and the Burgaw is at 2 o'clock. And then we are off to Massachusetts, where we will be putting on some shows on Cape Cod. You can join us there August 11th at 10:30 at the Eldridge Library in Chatham.
And then on Wednesday the 22nd, we'll be at the Franklin Library at 10:30, the Acton Library at 3 o'clock, and the Wellesley Library at 7 o'clock.
And those are all in Massachusetts. And we'll be doing our show, which ties in with the summer reading program, Libraries Rock. And that show is called Tuneful Tales. And it has stories in it that have music in it or are about musicians. So the stories that we'll be doing are Orpheus and his lyre, The Boy Who Wanted a Drum,
The Hat Seller and the Monkey, And
Tops and Bottoms.
Tops and Bottoms.
Tops and Bottoms and Hat Seller Monkey, both, they have music incorporated in them. The whole story of Hat Seller Monkey is told without any vocals. We're not speaking at all. It's all pantomime and set to music that Dennis wrote.
And it is, we have done it before, and it's one of our most popular stories
is.
ever, so we brought it back.
I love being a monkey.
Yes.
It is so much fun. And then Tops and Bottoms is also another one we've brought back, and that's got some music in it. It's also got some dialogue that the animals speak as well, but then there's some scenes that are just set to music, so that's why it's part of Tuneful Tales. And then, of course, Orpheus is about a musician.
About a legendary musician in ancient Greece.
Yes, and The Boy Who Wanted a Drum also focuses on a boy who wants a drum.
Who wants to be a musician.
Yeah, he wants to be a musician, yes. So we hope you get a chance to see the show this summer at a library or bring us to your school. We are touring nationally. We will come to you. Just send us an email. Go to our website. That's activatedstorytheater.com, and we do spell theater R-E at the end. So Activated Story, TheaTre.com.
That's about it for this time, so
Yes.
we'll catch you next time.
We will.
Stay activated.
And thanks for listening.
Activated Story Theater is committed to bringing fun, educational shows to schools and libraries nationwide. On stage, we use physical comedy, American Sign Language, imaginative props, and a giant, oversized book to bring multicultural folktales to life. For booking information, check out our website, activatedstorytheater.com, where you can also find out when the activated actors will be performing near you. Read a story or order one of our audio CDs. You can subscribe to this podcast on iTunes or listen on Stitcher. We look forward to your comments and folktale suggestions. Stay activated. Until next time.